So listen to this. We make a new boot that's not a sock. What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, and I'd like to start this video with a moment of silence for the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 3. If you haven't heard the news, the Hypervenom line is dead and set to be replaced by the Nike Phantom Venom, or Phantom Venom, because Nike hates vowels for some reason. What's interesting about the Phantom Venom is it more or less combines the two boots that it has essentially killed off. The T90 line was replaced by the Hypervenoms, and the Hypervenoms are now replaced by the Phantom Venom. Why is that smoking? My light is actually smoking. That's bad. Let me sort this out. Oh, that seems really dangerous. Okay, let's stop that. Okay, this might actually be on fire. Smells like smoke. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's actually smoking in here. This thing's actually on fire. Right in there. Well, that's only slightly dangerous. I'm telling you guys, these are the hottest boots on the market right now. Anyways, as I was saying in this video, I want to share my initial impressions of the Phantom Venom and kind of give you an idea of what to expect from this brand new line from Nike. And to the 6,000 people who messaged me, yes, I will be reviewing them. Just a few quick details on the release. The boots will be available as of January 19th, so in just a couple of days. Also, the top-end Elite model will have a retail price of $250 US, making it the same retail as the Phantom 3 Low. Also, it's a full line of boots, not just the top-end model, so there will be takedowns, which will likely include a Pro, Academy, and Club tier options, as well as indoor and turf variations. And of course, if you're interested in any of the new Phantom Venom boots, do not pay full retail. If you click the first link down below in the description, that's going to take you to a page on my website where all the new Phantom Venom stuff will be available, along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. So right at day one, you'll be able to pick them up below the normal retail price. So when I first saw these boots, the very first thing that caught my eye was not the T90S striking element. It was the fact that this is not either a mid-cut or a fly knit boot. That is something that has kind of become the norm from the Nike brand. If you look at the other Phantom, the Phantom Vision, because again, Nike hates vowels for some reason, it's basically a giant fly knit sock that has a low cut design, but because the mid cut thing is so popular, they just added a collar for the sake of adding a collar. They have not done that here with the Phantom Venom, which I think is a good thing because it really does set it apart from the other lines currently on offer from the Nike brand. What's also weird is the fact that they don't really talk much about the synthetic upper in the press release. They don't specify a synthetic material. They don't have a name for it as far as I know. I'm sure those are details that will come out as we get closer to the official release on January 19th when they become available to the public. But what I'm super curious about is how this synthetic upper is going to feel, because it doesn't really look like the Nike Skin upper that we've previously seen on the Hypervenom line. It certainly doesn't look like the Flyknit upper that we have on the current Hypervenom Phantom 3. So I'm kind of expecting something all new from Nike here. The only Flyknit you're going to find on the upper is in the form of that tiny little lace cover on the offset lacing system that covers basically nothing. It's pretty much useless, but they included it. Speaking of meaningless features, something that I've been getting a lot of messages about is the lack of ACC branding on the boots. It's not where it would normally be, right around the collar or ankle area of the foot. But if you look closely at the very back of the heel, you can in fact see that there is in fact ACC branding. Again, an element that is completely invisible, and we would not know if it was there or not unless Nike physically writes ACC on the boots, which they've done. I think it's also worth mentioning that this is available as a low-cut boot, and seemingly a low-cut boot only. It does not look like we're going to get any kind of mid-cut variation of the Phantom Venom, although I would not put it past Nike to do that at some point in time. As of right now, though, it looks like it's low cut only, which I view personally as a good thing. Moving on to what is arguably the main talking point of the Phantom Venom, the return of a striking element, something we have not seen from the Nike brand since the T90 Laser 4, which was obviously killed off for the Hypervenom Phantom 1, which I think ultimately will go down as one of Nike's best ever football boots. And the Hypervenom kind of had a little bit of a roller coaster run. The Phantom 2 I didn't think was very good. They improved it with the second variation. And then the Phantom 3, you could argue, was probably the best performing of all the Hypervenom models, and honestly is still a really, really good boot. They tried to have some emphasis on the striking zone on the Hypervenom, especially with the later colors that kind of highlight this strike zone area across the top of the foot. But the new one has what is now called the Precision Power striking zone, or Precision Power, because who needs O's and E's? To quote Nike, the Precision Power strike zone features 13 ridges on the instep set at specific angles and ascending heights to help keep the ball down if it is mishit, and to provide bite on the ball. This is a really interesting quote and feature because essentially what Nike is doing here is kind of going in the opposite direction, or at least in a slightly different direction to that of the traditional power boot style marketing, where they put these rubber elements on a pair of football boots, imply that's where you're supposed to hit the ball on your foot, and basically claim that it's going to offer more grip and offer more power to your shot, which you could argue it does or it doesn't. It's really a personal preference thing. This particular striking element, though, they're not really claiming more power. They're claiming better accuracy and more precision. These are not power boots, they are precision boots, which is an interesting form of marketing. I also think it's really interesting that they're claiming that this is a corrective element, meaning that if you mishit the ball, the shot will end up being more accurate because of the striking element they've implemented. I think that seems like a bit of a stretch to expect that from any pair of football boots, but basically they're claiming that you will strike the ball better in the Phantom Venom than you will in any other pair of boots on your feet. How do they know this? Well, they use robotic legs during the development process. The press release actually says that. I'm not making that up. There's some pretty lofty claims with this particular striking element. Until I've tried it myself, I can't really comment too much about it. I'm excited to try it out, I can tell you that much, and I can almost assure you that I'm going to like the way that it feels, because I've never really felt a rubberized striking element on any football boot that I didn't like. But I think that the claims that they're making maybe are a little bit too optimistic versus what you're actually going to experience. But again, I've not tried the boots. Maybe I'll put these on and hit the top corner every single time. Only time will tell. Nike also claims that the Phantom Venom has a 30% larger striking surface versus the Hypervenom Phantom 3 that it replaces, because of the Flyknit lace cover at the bottom part of the boot. Personally, I think that's kind of a dumb statistic. The sole plate and stud pattern has also been redone. It's still called Hyper Reactive, I guess technically Hyper Reactive 2.0 now, and it looks a lot different than what we had on the Phantom 3, but the reality is that it's kind of the same type of design, just with a slightly reworked stud pattern, and they've changed up the sole plate as well. You're gonna notice that it has a lot more segmentation, but the general construction still utilizes two different types of plastic materials, a softer plastic as a base, and then the stud plate on top, which actually houses the studs themselves, is made out of a stiffer material. You can see there are some minor splits in this stiffer material on the Phantom 3, whereas on the new Phantom Venom, the splits are a lot more significant, supposedly inspired by the Nike Free, which I'm conveniently wearing on my feet. See, it's got all these splits, so it's nice and bendy. So supposedly this is gonna be a lot more flexible. I personally expect it to be more flexible, and honestly, I think that's a good thing, because flexible sole plates, in my opinion, always make for better comfort and better traction. The reason why the traction is better is if the sole plate can bend more naturally with the bend of your foot, you're gonna have more studs under your feet at all time. And as far as this new stud pattern is concerned, you can see it's pretty much all bladed chevron studs. They've gone away with these kind of more conical style studs that we saw on the Hypervenom. So I expect the traction to be a little bit more aggressive on the Phantom Venom versus the Hypervenom. Instagram reacts to the Nike Phantom Venom. Terrible. Can't believe they discontinued the Hypervenoms for these. People said the exact same thing about the T90 line when they replaced it with the Hypervenoms, and look how that turned out. So much uglier than the Hypervenoms though. I'm not really on the bandwagon that these are ugly boots. I don't mind the look. I don't think it's the best looking boot Nike has ever put out, but I'm curious to see it in other colors, and for the most part, I don't think it looks that bad. Use me as a dope button. 24 people press the dope button. This is more of a predator than the current predators. He's not wrong. Anyways, guys, those are my initial impressions of the Nike Phantom Venom Elite. Can't wait to try these things out, and I'm hoping to have a pair in for review as soon as this week. So if you don't want to miss out on my review, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that little bell notification so you get notified as soon as it goes live. If you guys enjoyed this video, please support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in the Phantom Venom when it comes out on January 19th, first link down below. Every single variation that is available will be on that page along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. We'll be able to pick them up below their normal retail prices from day one. Don't pay full retail if you don't have to. If you have any questions regarding this new boot from Nike or any opinions of your own, feel free to leave all of that down below in the comments. All my social media information is linked down below in the description as well, so follow me there if you don't already. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.